Hi, everybody, and welcome to Hentai Con. No, I'm just... Sorry, we were just talking about conventions. I couldn't help it.
It's that episode. Don't do that.
So it's going to be a busy episode. So I'm just going to jump right in and say hello, Christina. Welcome to our show. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's going to be marvelous. And so, as you know, and as we've talked about, we recently ran a contest with D&D Beyond to find prospects, potential new members for Strix's Chickenfoot Coven. So we will be announcing, we got all the entries in, we judged them all, we've got 3 winners, and we will announce them at the end of this show. So stay tuned for that bit of business. Without further ado, previously in Dice Camera Action, the characters encountered a Harper agent and adventurer named Artis Cimber, who had in his possession, or had acquired from a 3-headed frost giant, a magical ring of great power, an elven artifact called the Ring of Winter. And he had it in his possession because the ring was evil and he felt he was the only one who could really keep it out of evil's hands and not be consumed by it. The characters eventually parted company with him under circumstances which I won't belabor, but were reunited when they found him in the jungle amidst the wreck of a crashed airship. And they fought, the Waffle crew and Artis Cimber. Artis Cimber died. I think Paultin finished him off and then took the Ring of Winter off Artis's hand and put it on. And thus began a gradual descent into evil Paultin mode, which culminated with the Waffle crew actually turning against Paultin to try to divest him of the ring. The ring was...
Not against, so much as just helping.
Well, yes, they went to save him from the ring.
Yeah.
And managed to succeed. Paultin was separated from the ring. The ring disappeared from the Waffle crew's clutches, taken away by an elf named Miranda. And the Waffle crew returned to their normal life, as it were, and carried on their adventures with the Ring of Winter and Artis Cimber behind them. But before he died, Artis Cimber uttered the immortal words, "Alisanda, avenge me."
Oops.
Interesting recap.
The Waffle crew is in Waterdeep now. They've just returned from the Xanathar's lair, which they destroyed using a vast quantity of smoke powder. They saved 3 barrels with the help of their GIF friend, Warrington Munt, who has now made his residence inside Waffle House, along with 3 orphans, an owlbear, a puppet boy, and a albino beholderkin, a grapefruit-sized white beholder with 4 little stumpy eye stalks.
He's my friend now.
That has been following Strix around.
Is he still with me?
Yes. In fact, Strix, you're in the. Some time has passed, and we can back up for some stuff as well. But let's assume that you have a period of tranquility coming to you that is owed to you at this point in time.
Wow, that sure would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes. Alcoria Stonemarrow has been working with the guilds to get the Waffle House repaired, to get a new cone put on the blasted turret top of the place, the interior being refurbished, floors being replaced, ceilings being replaced, walls being replaced, a counter being put in where Strix pies can be laid, splayed out for...
I also feel like while they were fixing the turret, Strix just openly said yeah, Simon kept a kidnapped kid in there. Whoops.
Yes, and while this is going on, Strix, you're probably baking pies so that you have something to display eventually when you open up your bakery. So you're working feverishly in the kitchen, you're getting ingredients from different guilds coming into you, and Alcoria is making sure that's all paid for. She's basically managing your finances at this point, and keeping everything in a ledger that she carries around with her. And while this is going on, you're breaking eggs and stirring them up in a pot and then making pies out of ingredients, flour.
We have chickens in the back.
Chickens, yes, you got flour
Oh
all
my
over
God.
you. You're just white with
This is
flour.
the best day of my life.
Occasionally, Albie, the little beholder, will look at what you're cooking and just sort of drool into it, and you'll be like, whatever, just mix it up. It's all good.
As long as it doesn't poison anyone, it's fine. It's
Yes.
no big deal.
So while the Waffle House is being rebuilt and things are normal, insofar as, you have an owlbear running around, kids running around, and all that other business going on, what else is happening to you guys?
Dieth acquired Gnarl's book,
Yes.
his ledger of sorts. Does anyone in the party speak Elvish?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah. Just, something I picked up.
Great.
Oh, I do too, except
What?
not happening today on my end. So go for it.
Yeah, I guess I had to take a second language in Paladin school along with Celestial. So
All right. Well, great. So during these times off, Dieth will work with Evelyn to try to translate that book and learn as much as he could about the previous Xanathar's dealings.
Okay.
I love books.
What you're able to discern right away is that Gnarl was probably with the Xanathar for about a year and kept detailed notes of various individuals that the Xanathar would meet. There's also a description of an altercation between Xanathar and Lady Laral Silverhand, which you found particularly intriguing. That being that at some point the Xanathar did something, you're not exactly sure what, and Lady Laral Silverhand single-handedly fought her way into the lair, cornered the Xanathar, told him off, caused the Xanathar to hide from her, so as he would not actually face her. He was basically talking to her through a wall. And then she went off, and the Xanathar sort of got several of the things he was pursuing in the city kind of went away after that, and he's tried to keep a low profile thereafter. You're also able to get out of the book that there's many dealings chronicled between the Xanathar and the Zentarim. So many, in fact, that it's going to take you a few days to digest it all. But suffice to say, it is a complete chronicle of the negotiations by the Xanathar and the Zentarim to merge their two organizations together into one big sort of shadow empire. And then the subsequent falling apart of those negotiations when the Xanathar accused the Zentarim of stealing the Stone of Golor, a powerful item from his lair, something that the Zents fervently denied.
Right.
And then there were half-hearted attempts to basically take out Xanathar agents in the city thereafter.
Okay.
So while that's going on,
So how long has it been since basically end of last session? It's been like a couple days?
yeah.
Okay. So pretty much in this time, like, Paultin's just been locked away in his room, just like only sneaking out to like find. Well, wait, are we totally out of wine still, or did we restock at some point?
So the wine is starting to show up. The Brewers, Vintners, Distillers Guild has been delivering crates of wine to you, and Alcoria, just like she's doing with all the other things, is basically tracking the expenses and covering the costs.
Tight. So basically every few hours he'll just like kind of
Yeah.
make his way down, grab more, and then just walk back up.
Yes. And just as an aside, Diath, remember you got a whole bunch of money out of the Xanathar's lair.
Yep.
That you've got packed away. Yeah. Okay. But anyway, Paultin.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much not saying anything.
Okay.
Just like yeah, not doing great.
I think Evelyn keeps trying to like check on him.
Okay.
And she's starting to get worried because usually he snaps out of a mood sooner than this, especially if he gets wine, but she's noticing that he's not.
Yeah.
He's still egged up. So at some point, I think she takes him aside or like meets him at the bar, and it's like, maybe you don't need more wine. Maybe you're fine.
Just dead-eyed, and then just still goes to his room.
She follows him. She's like, why are you so upset still? What's bothering you?
So his mumblings are still pretty much kind of on par with how they have been ever since Statue Evelyn just shattered. He's just like lunatic talking to himself. He's just like, I'll just die. I'll die. Dead.
She like
Because
takes
of me.
him by the shoulders, and she's like, look at me. I'm alive. I'm fine. Nothing happened to me. Why are you still so upset?
Like
I'm not dead.
It's like, she's dead. She's dead because of me.
Who? Hello?
Yeah. He like very somberly just looks up. He just says, not you.
Well, see, yeah, I'm not dead. See, we're making progress. This is good. Don't you feel better now?
But she still is.
Who? Strix is fine.
He goes,
Look, it's real sweet that you care that much about us as friends, but we're fine. And I don't know what you're still holding on to, but believe, look, see, we're fine.
it's Sandra.
Who? She feels his head. She's like, are you? I don't think we know Sandra.
You didn't.
She kind of like leans back and she's like, oh, do you want to talk about it?
He takes a big old she was my wife.
Oh.
And like everyone else, she's dead because of me.
I'm sure that can't be true. You were married?
Was. Yeah. It's a long time ago. Way before I met any of you.
What happened?
Well, we had been married for, I think it was 2 years. I don't know, that whole time's a big blur. And I was doing what I did. I was out, just playing another gig I was called to. I shouldn't have. We didn't need the money. We were doing okay. We were doing fine, but I still went for it. So why would I say no to some extra cash, right? Who wouldn't? And I don't know who I pissed off, but apparently it was the wrong guy. Or girl, I don't assume. Came back. Guard was there. People were huddled around my house. And there's just so much fucking blood. And I should have been there. But I wasn't, as always.
Evelyn just reaches out to like touch his arm, but then kind of takes her hand back and she's like, I know it wasn't your fault.
It's always my fault. Every time I could do something. But no, I don't.
What do you mean you pissed off somebody? That doesn't sound logical.
I don't know, man. When you play the shady places I did, you make some enemies. But it's weird. They couldn't figure out what happened. They just found her. They don't know who did it. And I couldn't do anything about it. Just, it wouldn't tell me anything.
I'm so sorry. It must be excruciating to see death again after something like that. And you must never want to love again.
It's not a matter of want. Anytime I try to, gone. It's all gone. So, figure the best thing I can do about anything I care about is keep it at arm's length.
Well, I guess we're here at the end of the arm whenever you're ready.
He just kind of drops his head. Just sitting there sulking.
She tries to give him a hug, like timidly.
While that's going on, you can hear a couple of rooms over just the kids stomping around, bouncing around, yelling, screaming, completely oblivious to, adult issues.
Does he accept the hug?
He doesn't deny it. He just kind of sits there in a ball, just huddled up on the ground.
She egg hugs him for a minute.
Paultin's just kind of, that feels a little better. Thank you. I guess I just needed to just get that out there, and I just thought maybe it would explain some things.
I'm glad you feel better.
Yeah, better.
If you ever want to talk about anything, I'm here. I like to listen. I'm just not one to like pry,
No, of course. Yeah. So good talk, as usual.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I left something on the. Bye. And he walks out of the room, just like head down, embarrassed.
Okay. Yeah, you walk out of the room. I assume Evelyn, you follow.
I think she lets him go.
Yeah.
If he's like obviously trying to disengage, she's like, "Oh yeah, of course, the thing."
Yep. You hear what's become a familiar sound, which is Warrington Munt slamming his head into a rafter.
Of course.
And letting out a small expletive as he tries to accommodate himself in this building that's really not built for a person of his size. Anyway, as you make your way, carry on, as it were, Evelyn, you're downstairs. You see the kids have sort of migrated down there. And at a table, you can see the young boy Martin Trek is there, and he's got like a top hat and he's trying to do a magic trick to amuse the other kids. Actually, he's using Simon's hat, his Jingle Bell hat. He's trying to perform a trick with a magic wand, but every time, before he can get the incantation out, Juniper keeps wanting to pop out of the hat and sort of scamper off. And so he keeps, no, Juniper, at the end, get back in the hat. But it strikes you as interesting because Simon and Martin seem to be associating with each other in the way that kids do, and not in, really, this is the first time you've seen them together since their traumatic ordeal.
Evelyn sees this and like, she's walking and you would normally expect her to be like, oh, children, pleasant, engage. And she like pats them both rigidly on the head. She's like, well done, children. And then she's just like on a beeline. She's looking for Dia.
Oh, okay. Which you find him at some point.
She pulls him aside and she's like, Dia,
What?
do you have a second that I could talk to you for a second?
What was I currently doing? Do I have a second?
Whatever you want to be doing.
It's probably something super important and required a lot of thought and planning and processing and strategy. And there's
If you're
probably
busy, it's fine.
paperwork,
No worries.
and he's writing
no
some
worries
stuff.
at all.
Alcoria told you how you might be able to invest some money, maybe, and you're like looking at papers.
Yeah, and he puts all these papers and pens down and just goes, "Yeah, Evelyn, of course. Anything you need."
It's no big deal, or anything. Just kind of, like thinking about Paultin was married.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was married before.
What are you talking
Someone
about?
named Sandra, and she died.
What?
He was married. Paultin was married. He was married.
I never knew that.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's fine. Of course, it's fine. I mean, it's not like I have any personal reaction other than just concern for our friends. But I just knew that I know that information now, and I thought maybe you would also like to know that information.
I guess. I mean, it does explain some things, and maybe it'll.
Should I do anything different? Have I been, like, I die in front of him all the time.
Oh, that's not your fault.
But maybe it's hurting him.
Like, how dare you?
Well,
Like, every time that something happens, he gets like this, and we know that it's not like, of course, I'm nothing similar to wife level or anything, but it seems like it's upsetting him.
Evelyn, none of us ever wants to die. It's never something we plan.
Yeah.
So it's not something you should. That's not something you can blame yourself for. And of course, it's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt all of us. No one wants to see that.
I
ever.
hurt all of you all the time, huh?
No, sorry. It's not like that. I didn't mean it like that. You're a constant sunshine in our life. And I think he needs that more than anything. And if he was married before, I mean, wow,
Right.
whatever that
Sunshine.
means.
Yes. Sunshine. Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, it's all fine. It's all fine.
It
And
starts to
isn't
rain
that
outside.
Nice.
Like really kind of really heavy spring rain, just downpour all of a sudden.
I'm just gonna go check on Strix and make sure she's fine. Thanks. Yeah.
Sure, no problem.
She goes looking for Strix.
Okay.
And as she leaves, Diaz just kind of looks down at himself and just like, oh, I blew that one.
It also occurs to you that the name Sandra sounds vaguely familiar.
To me?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no!
What? Well, I don't know. Okay. Oh, talk to Strix.
When Evelyn gets to Strix, she's just like, "Hey, Strix, how are you? Isn't it a nice day? How are you feeling?"
Strix is just face down in her pile of clothes crying.
What's wrong? How do I help you? She
Her,
grabs her.
her
and
pie
shakes
has
her.
collapsed. Yeah.
Yeah, she's just depressed. Because she's gotten all these nice things, like everything's been fixed. The place is all wonderful and clean, and you know, there's all these hopeful things happening. She's just having like a crisis that she could never have her own happiness, and she could never have her own kitchen, and she could never have her friends around her. So she's just crying.
Eventually, when Evelyn it keeps trying to be like, everything's fine, isn't it great? You see that it's like the laugh that turns into a cry, where she's like, isn't it? And she just lays down next to Strix, face down, and they're both just laying face down in this pile of clothes together.
Oh no, Strix will hug her. Strix isn't going to leave her crying alone.
One of the
they just,
unseen
hold each
servants.
other and cry.
One of the unseen servants also just sort of floats over a hanky.
Yeah.
To
Strix
Evelyn.
is just gonna nestle her into her robes like a mother hen, just like
Okay.
Evelyn just curls up
Like the
super
robes under the wings, just
like Evelyn
Yeah,
gets,
yeah.
as small as she possibly can.
And she'll just cry into her like golden curly hair, just like in the corner, and she's just like, I don't deserve anything of this, but I know it. I hate myself. I just can't
You
deal
hear
with it.
boom, boom, boom. It sounds like the heaviest knock on the front door you've ever heard.
What?
come in, Warrington.
It echoes throughout the entire house.
Strix will misty-
boom, boom.
Jesus. Strix will misty step to the front door.
Okay, you're at the front door. It's closed, and it's raining. You can hear the rain on the other side of the door outside. And by now, evening has fallen, the sun has set, and it's still pouring rain.
Well,
sure.
Strix is like, since this is her, now she thinks it's her pie shop. She's just like, I know it's rainy. We've got warm pies, and it's going to be a great place for you to sit in between tears. Great place for you to sit down if you really want to sit. I'm so sorry, man. And she'll just open the door.
When
Sure,
you
Dieth is approaching the door at the same time with the
Strix
kind of
looks
noise.
back and she's like, no, I can do it on my own.
when you throw open the door and you look out, you can see the coming night outside, the hard rain pouring down, and pittering off the cobblestones. And Strix, you look out, you don't see anybody. There's nobody at the door. But then you both see some movement down on the floor in the doorway, and you see a severed hand, all sort of black and desiccated. You've seen this hand before. This is Handru.
Look at Nate's face. He's so excited.
What?
Yeah.
But why?
And you could see
Strix is like, Paultin, it's for you.
this nasty desiccated hand, just like Thing from the Addams Family, sort of scuttles in and doesn't look around, but you get the sense that it is kind of getting its bearings, and it just sort of goes underneath your robe, Strix, over toward you, Dieth. It just tries to scuttle around you like it's looking for someone.
Oh, I don't want this.
How did he find us?
How did he hit the door so hard?
Yeah, you don't know how that tiny hand, which is just like an old human hand, could have made such
Can
a
I,
thunderous boom.
That sounds like magic. Do I need Arcana check to see if that's magic?
Go ahead.
Okay, that seems like it might be magic. That's an 11.
Yeah.
Okay, someone's got magic outside, so I'm gonna go look.
All right. I'll let Paultin know it's for him.
If I die, don't come get me. She'll walk outside.
Okay, so Strix is standing out in the night rain, looking around for any sign of who or what may have made this thunderous boom at the door, if not the hand. You look out, Strix, and as the water's pouring off the brim of your hat, you're kind of looking at the house, and it does look much nicer now that the windows have been put back in, and there's a little, almost like doghouse shed for Lance, your mule.
Right.
And the tower's not letting all the rain seep into your house, which is good. But as you look around, because of all the rain, there's not much activity here on Troll Skull Alley. It's all pretty quiet, except for what sounds like thunder coming in off the coast. And you can see there are lamp lights on your neighbors' buildings. Your lamps outside have not been lit, so your place looks, except for the light coming from the inside, rather dark and foreboding.
Can I firebolt the lamps to turn them on?
That would probably just break the glass and probably damage the lamps more than just light them.
Everything I touch breaks.
Yeah.
All right. Is there any, can I like look around? There's any rain like falling off in a weird pattern? Maybe someone's invisible.
Like somebody invisible in the rain? You don't see anything like that.
Okay. Well, I just yell out, if there's anyone out here being spooky, please just tell us now, because really it's just easier if you just kill us at this point, because we're just so tired.
You hear one of your neighbors say, every night? Really?
She's like, fuck off! This is my house! If you want to cry, you can come over here, but leave us alone! And then she goes inside and slams
Witch!
the door. She's like, that's a fair assessment! Slams the door.
All right. Paultin, you are reunited with Handru. When he scampers over to you, crawling across the floor on his fingertips, you see that he is slightly different from when you last saw him, other than the fact he's still a dead old hand. But there are bumps on his hand that suggest old scars that weren't there before, and they have almost glyph-like or sigil-like patterns to the scarring.
I'm just like, buddy, what? I hold up a fist to see if he fist bumps me.
He fist bumps you. Boom.
Oh my God. What happened? Like, what happened? What are you doing? You can't talk.
He cannot.
Okay. I don't recognize the markings, do I?
You can make an Arcana check.
Okay, that's really not good.
Yep.
Oh, but 22.
That's really good. So you think that somebody has, probably not him, Handru itself, but somebody has ensorcelled or enspelled Handru with protective abjuration magic. Like he's been magicked up, basically.
I'm just like holding him, like, do you have new tricks?
The other thing that your Arcana check is able to do is you think that you've seen markings like this before in the Raven Queen's palace.
I remember that and just like immediately drop them.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, right, that's right. Oh.
He tries to just sort of crawl back up next to you.
It's like, oh, okay.
He'll pull down your bed.
I'm like, oh, God, I wish you could talk.
Strix is like, he can write.
Oh. Can he write?
Probably.
Can I try?
Yeah, you can sort of try to hand him a pen and he can try to write, but...
It's like,
He'll sort of scratch out on, I don't know what just a piece of paper, I guess you're having him write?
Yeah, sure.
He just writes out, hi.
It's like, okay.
Probably on the back of a very important piece of paper from Diet's office.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Just took it.
Yeah.
Just when he's just like, this doesn't look important.
Not an office, his bedroom.
Who do you think's been managing everything?
Dian
like
calls it his office, but it's just like a corner of his bedroom.
It's like Waffle Crew income tax. That's not important. Write it on this. I'm just like, what are you, why are you here?
It writes,
Hi.
yeah, basically. Don't know.
Good. Okay. Did you go back to the Raven Queen?
Yes. Question mark.
Did she send you to kill me?
No? Question mark. Then he sort of scratches that question mark and puts an exclamation point.
Like, so are we cool?
Yes.
All right, this isn't ominous at all. Sweet. Welcome back, bud.
Gives you a thumbs up. And the night passes into the wee hours of the morning. The rain continues. And then by early morning, after a fierce thunderstorm.
I also go out there and make sure all the chickens stay dry.
Oh yeah, that too. You can bring them into the kitchen actually, and
Yeah, I like panic, and I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
Mr. Fluffinchops, you can't get wet in the rain. And I
yes.
just pull them into the
When you're out there and you're moving crates of chickens back into the kitchen, there is
Too real.
There is a fierce bolt of lightning that sort of strikes one of sort of the iron spires on a nearby building, kind of lights up one street over. And there's a sense, Strix, that this storm, its kind of ferocity and the way it sort of bears down on you, there's a hint of the unnatural to it.
Uh-oh.
Almost like you sense it's a harbinger.
Okay, so I get 7 chickens all faster. And I hold them all like this. I'm like, come on, guys! And they're all under my arms, and I'm just running into the kitchen, and I'm like, the storm's magic! Please close the doors!
Yep. And the kids ask you if it would be okay if they slept over at Martin's house tonight.
Have we
That's
met
probably-
Martin's parents?
You have not. You've only met the aunt.
Then no.
Okay. They'll sleep here then, and they'll let Martin go before it gets too late.
Why don't they go to the druid neighbor?
Yeah, they don't want to go back there. They make them work.
Let them sleep at Martin's house. It's fine.
Who's Martin?
Does it matter? Who are these kids?
Look, we'll invite Martin's parents over for dinner, and we'll
Oh my
have
god.
a nice talk, and then if things go well and they're responsible people, then you can go spend the night there.
Okay. So it's decided.
I mean, if you guys think that Simon can babysit, then they can go.
Yeah, Simon can babysit. He literally stuns people.
Simon, do you
Or
want to be
kills them.
responsible for all the other children?
He'll nod.
He loves Simon. Don't you like having a cool job? See? Let him go.
Paultin, are you
The
okay
storm
with
is
this?
magic. Bad things are going to happen. It's called an omen. It happens all the time.
Omen.
Oh, not that kind of omen. Strix
What about Omen? Did he write a letter?
No! And she just stomps upstairs. Take the kids to Martin's.
When Evelyn asks Paultin, he's just like, Andrew's back. Ominous storm. Kids want to go. Yeah, I feel like the kids probably shouldn't be here right now. Don't know why.
All right, well, maybe take Waffles as well.
The waffles can hit hard.
Leave Waffles. I think Waffles is a killing machine.
I'm
We
just
should
worried
probably
about
have.
the kids. And Nat looks at Evelyn and she basically signs we're grown up enough to take care of ourselves. Very
Yeah.
sassy.
Martin will also say that he doubts his parents will let him bring the owlbear into the house.
Squidly's just like, I'll stay if there's a fight. I'm ready. And he's aiming his arrow at everything.
There's no fight.
Not yet.
I think Jenks is just too busy hiding pies in his clothes.
Yeah.
And
Nat
Strix
just-
is like, no, stop, you thief.
when Nat sasses Evelyn, she looks at Dieth
I'm no one's parents here.
fine, have fun at Martin's.
Squidly's like, aw.
All right. So the kids disappear from the scene, and you don't see them ever again. No, I'm just kidding.
They all die. Struck by lightning.
So when the morning comes, you are all awakened by the sounds of distant horns. And you've probably heard the horns like these a few times since you've been in the city. They're used to sort of marshal city guards.
Oh, okay.
But you sort of heard one, and then another one, and then another one, and the sheer number of horns has you concerned.
Oh.
These are
Strix-
not close either. They're some distance off.
Maybe that has nothing to do with us, and someone else will take care of it.
I'm
Yeah, maybe it's
already
fine.
out of bed. I've got my broom.
This
I'll
is like
go
a.
see what
these-
it is.
And these horns are like completely separate than ones that like call the Gryphon cavalry or anything.
Yes.
I was gonna make everyone breakfast, but now there's a crisis, so I guess I'll just go take care of that. If anyone else would like to make breakfast, no, just don't bother. I'll make breakfast.
Try.
I'm sure you'd be great at making breakfast, Dia. And she's just like jumps out the window on her broom.
All right, when you go out the window, your broom backfires and leaves a big cloud of smoke hanging in
I
the
hope
air.
it hits the neighbor who yelled at me.
You soar up into the morning sky, and everything is wet, and there are puddles of water everywhere in the city that you can see. But what strikes you right away is that there is a huge force of city guards threading through the city toward the eastern walls. And when you get high above the city and look out in that direction, now to east of Waterdeep is not, so the sea is to the west. To the east is basically rolling farmland, and there's actually a small village outside of Waterdeep to the east, surrounded by farmland. It's called Undercliff, the village of Undercliff. And so lots of farms and dotted woods as far as you can see. Well, there's something going on out near the village of Undercliff because there are some odd fires and smoke and what looks like an army.
An army?
Yes.
Oh. Do I recognize the colors from any sort of part of the Sword Coast?
You'd have to get much closer.
Yeah, I don't really want to get closer to an
Yeah.
army. Okay, I will just go ahead and zoom back to the house and sort of just like run into
As you wheel around back to the house, you can see that the city's Gryphon cavalry is currently marshaling and flying in wing formations out toward the village of Undercliff.
Are they close enough to where I can zoom up to one?
You'd have to go across about half the city to get to them, but you could intercept them on their way heading eastward.
All right.
And
I'm
there's
gonna do that.
there's about 50 of them.
Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna zoom up to them and like be like, "Hello, bird people, riders." And they're so cute.
One of the helmed knights. It's hard to tell just looking at them at a glance because they got big lances and they've got sort of gold and white gleaming armor. One of them stares back at you through the slits in his or her helm and says, "Clear off."
So who's attacking the city? Inquiring minds want to know.
The knight will tell you there is a large army of elves, what appear to be wild elves, and they have brought a forest with them.
Uh-huh.
The forest is attacking the village.
Huh.
Strix is like, Is there anyone in charge or anyone that looks like a general or something that probably someone that my group of friends have pissed off?
You can see that one of the Gryphon riding knights has a sort of a billowing red cape that might suggest someone of a higher station, maybe a captain or a colonel. But they're sort of at the lead of this vanguard.
Yeah. So I'm like, "Hi, I'm Strix. I've made a lot of mistakes with my friends. Can you tell me if there's like who these elves are?"
This woman just sort of shakes her head and says, "Are you with the Watchful Order?"
I sure am.
All we know is that elves are attacking the village in force with the aid of creatures called treants, as well as other woodland creatures. We don't know why, and we have no other information.
All right. Thank you, Captain. And she like salutes like totally wrong. She's just like, and she just like flies off.
All right.
And she goes home.
While Strix is gone, what are the rest of you doing?
I guess attempting to make breakfast.
Okay. there are all these chickens around.
Yeah, I'm sure I picked up on a few things from being around Strix enough. It's going to be nowhere near as good, but...
As you're working, the unseen servants are helping you out by basically bringing things to you in the order in which you would need them.
Oh, good. Dieth alone in the kitchen to the unseen servant says, if anyone asks, I did this and figured it out on my own.
Evelyn comes and sits with him while he makes it and just kind of watches.
Sitting at the little table in the corner. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Waffles will probably be on hand too, as is customary, to see what falls on the floor and all that.
Yeah.
Oh,
periodically, sure. Dieth will turn to Evelyn. She'll be like, does this look done to you?
Evelyn knows nothing, and so she's like, yeah.
Great.
Does he have to roll for this? I feel like he should roll for this.
No, not yet. And Paultin, what are you up to?
Paultin's been in his room trying to, like, I guess, figure out what's different about the hand at this point.
Yeah. So, yeah, it definitely looks like it has been ensorcelled. Ensorcelled. But other than that, it's behaving just like it was behaving when last you had it.
Okay.
Oh, God. On the way back, Strix is flying her broom, and she's like, that's really weird. And she, like, you see this flashback of the hand, and this flashback of Miranda saying, my people made this. The flashback to the elves, and she's like, oh, no!
Oh.
All right. Alisanda, how do you envision your entrance?
I enter on a Tyrannosaurus Rex's back.
Excellent.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
Good.
So most of you are still in the Waffle House. Strix, make a perception check.
That's a 10.
Okay. What you don't see is a small cadre of robed individuals seamlessly making their way through the quiet, water-deep streets as the guards have all sort of rushed off to the east. You don't see them throw off their cover, revealing their armor and whatnot. You don't see them summon their dinosaur mounts. And you don't see them stampede toward the Waffle House.
What am I looking at? I'm just like looking at a pie shop, like 4 streets over, going, is that a competition?
Yeah, I mean, you're obviously distracted by the waves of guards going, basically being called to duty to the eastern wall. You're also probably seeing what look like wizards taking to the air with flying spells. So
I think
there's lots going on to distract you.
I look at their outfits and I'm like, I wish I was.
Somehow you do not see the Tyrannosaurus. And those of you in the kitchen hear and you see the drink in front of you, Evelyn, Jurassic Park style, just sort of make ripples.
The chickens run before everyone else notices.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Strix. Roll initiative.
Oh, but I'm just like looking over at the wizards. So fun. Oh, that's a 9.
All right. You get ambushed in the air. You don't know, they're moving so fast, and just like bolts fired from crossbows, they come at you. You see 2 armored figures on pterodactyls.
Oh, no.
Their pterodactyls have sort of armor razor-like beaks.
Cool.
Okay.
And they have rainbow feathers.
Oh, it's so cool.
Yes.
You can't have one.
I want the bird.
This is how we got into this whole mess.
Right. Birds.
Yes.
So true. It's full circle.
Yeah. And the riders hurl gleaming gold javelins at you. One of them rolls a 17 and one of them rolls a 22.
Yeah, both of those hit.
Okay.
Are they close enough for me to hellish rebuke them?
What's the range of your hellish rebuke?
Because they are. I'm trying to do it right. They're attacking me.
Yeah.
It's very rude. It's very, very rude. Hold on, I'm checking. Is that us first? No.
Da-da-dum-ba-dum. 60 feet.
60
So
feet.
yes. Yes.
Haha!
And they have to
They
make
have to make a dexterity 16 save.
So the one that you target succeeds. So it will take half damage from your hellish rebuke. You, by the way, took a total of 20 points of damage from the 2 javelins.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, so as soon as they stab me with the javelin, I'm like, ow! Holding it in my shoulder. I will hellish rebuke at the appropriate time.
Roll your damage.
There went my damage on the floor.
And Alisanda, your Tyrannosaurus Rex is standing outside of the Waffle House.
Oh wait, hold on, wait.
Oh, good.
Okay, yeah, that's 12.
12. Got it.
All right,
From the
so
top.
You hear Strix scream again.
Well, nobody would because there's too much horn activity going on.
Dang it.
All right, never mind. Well, she does scream.
Okay. Alisanda,
Yes.
you seem to have caught them by surprise.
Wow, no one's surprised about that.
Well, it does take some preparation to plan the proper vengeance. So, so I am going to scream out from the top of my Tyrannosaurus. Send me the one responsible for the death of Artist Simber.
This voice echoes through Troll Skull Alley.
So I hear it.
You do. It is an unfamiliar voice.
Paultin just kind of looks up and he goes, okay.
Evelyn hears it and goes out.
Yeah, Dieth immediately puts down all his cooking things, carefully turns off the stove first. And then he's probably wearing Strix's apron and rips
Oh my
it off.
god. That's such a good image.
And then goes for his equipment very quickly.
Okay.
But breakfast is gonna get cold.
So will our bodies unless we handle this.
Oh, good line. All right, so 2 figures march out of this old Gothic manse. One of them is a human in an apron, youngish fella, and the other is... Are you in your armor, Evelyn?
Yeah. I think she usually
Yep.
just hangs out in it.
One is in her gleaming gold armor, her curly locks catching the morning light. You don't just see what appears to be a regal woman astride a Tyrannosaurus Rex. You see a second woman a little ways past her in a dusky robe, her face hidden in shadow on the back of a Triceratops.
Hello, welcome to Troll Skull Alley and the Waffle House. I'm Evelyn Marthane, and this is Dieth Woodrow at your service.
Do I look like I'm here for pleasantries?
I mean, I suppose everyone deserves pleasantries.
I repeat, do I look like I am here for pleasantries? I asked a question, and it has a very simple answer.
Does she look like she's here for
No,
pleasantries?
you're not here for pleasantries.
Okay.
Who is responsible for the death of Artist Simber? And I want you to know that when I ask this question, I know the answer. So be very direct
It's
and
just kinda
very,
rhetorical.
very concise.
Paultin walks out. At this point, he goes, "Okay, now listen. Let's let this helicopter pass really quick. Now, it's like, let's say someone here was. Who are we speaking to?
My name is Alisanda. Artisember was my husband.
He goes,
And someone took him away from me. And an immortal life is a long time to spend alone.
that is a long time.
Xander.
Dieth kind of puts his hand up at Paultin to kind of signal like, don't talk for just a moment. I'm gonna try something. And Dieth at Alisanda would say, no one man or person otherwise was at fault for the death of Artisember. The only thing that claimed his life was that of the Ring of Winter, to which he valiantly attempted to keep under control, but eventually claimed him as well.
Did the ring end his life?
It could be argued.
Paul's gonna walk forward, and then he'll do like the exact same gesture, be like, "It's like, see, it doesn't feel great." And goes, "So you're looking for the one that took his life?"
I think it was me.
Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Considering that's exactly what I just said.
Right. I know. I'm definitely not stalling.
You
But
hear more war horns off toward the east.
Is
that's concerning.
Can Strix try to get back with javelins in her at this point?
Yeah, so the javelins sort of fall out of you after piercing your flesh. You propel yourself toward Troll Skull Alley, realizing that your broom matches the speed of their mounts, so you can kind of try to keep ahead of them if all you do is move.
Okay, I move.
All right, so leave a big smoke trail behind you as you race back, and you can see now a Tyrannosaurus Rex with a rider, a Triceratops with a rider, outside of the Waffle House. And not a guard in sight.
They just, sorry, my bird's going all tootin'
That's
in the
fine.
back. He's having fun.
Yeah.
Marco, stop it!
Big mood.
Yeah.
So she's just gonna tumble down in front of everyone and just be like, I was hit by javelins! They're trying to kill us! That lady looks mean!
It's like, hey, you made it. Cool. So Paultin carries on.
Yep.
He kind of like looks off to the side and he goes, holy shit, 25 charisma. Okay. He goes, I can see that. Congratulations. Okay, so
Try
you know
me.
the answer. So that was me. And I have my assumptions. Sure. But I'll give the benefit of a doubt. What is it you seek by being here?
Grovel.
Grovel.
Evelyn, can you tell if this lady's evil?
You're going to need to succeed on a wisdom saving throw or hit the ground.
There we go.
Oh,
Wisdom.
dang, you got commanded.
Damn, okay.
Okay.
14. Stat.
That that does not
Oh, cool.
beat the save DC. But did you count your bonus for Evelyn being present?
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, +5.
Yeah, so that would be, what did I say, 14?
14.
So 19 then?
So 19.
I like to headcanon that looks like Paulton's starting to like almost kneel on the ground, and Evelyn's like, no, she smacks him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, no, I don't need to do that.
Now, what is the DC, Christina, for Alisanda's? What's her spell DC?
Hold on 1 second.
Okay, she's got a pretty butch DC. So
Oh, good.
What's some other sheet? LDC 21.
there we go.
Jeez.
So you feel a compulsion to grovel before her.
Paul's like, okay. Just kind of gets down.
I hate that.
And how does he grovel?
Paulton does not like that at all.
Yeah, Strix is like,
Paul's like, setting aside he's like, I feel like with that DC, this was kind of set up. This was rigged, but you know
Wait.
what? It's fine.
could I tell that she was casting that spell?
It seemed to just be a word coming out of her mouth, but given the reaction, you're almost certain that a spell did transpire and is
Okay.
now over.
I didn't have time to counterspell it.
Evelyn also has commands, so she probably recognizes that too, right?
It's just it literally just triggers off of verbal. So
Okay.
by the time it's happened, it's happened. There's no
I know.
There's no
I'm just
gestures.
trying to-
But
I'm
yes,
trying
you
to get a sense of whether Evelyn thinks that
Yes.
Paulton like decided to grovel.
yeah, this seems like something that Evelyn has the ability to do as well.
She glares. She's like, it doesn't mean anything if you tell them to do it.
Flee.
To me?
Yeah.
Oof. Oh no. I don't succeed against the 21.
Is that a fear? Or is this a runaway
Oh
command?
Yeah.
man, that sucks. And you see Evelyn's face just get confused as she kind of like rises into the air and just leaves.
Okay, I don't like this. I'm
What the hell?
I'm gonna polymorph her stupid dinosaur.
All right, let's
Hey. Paulton didn't grovel yet.
Paulton, I'm still waiting to hear Paulton's grovels.
Paulton goes, I'm sorry. And I assume you've come for justice. And I assume that's my life you'll want for his, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So I kill your husband. You kill me, and that's what? Justice? Balance? What's coming to me?
I want the ring back.
I don't have that.
Where is it?
I don't know that.
It's in the Shadowfell with two people that steal faces.
I want that ring. And I want your life. But I assume one can't happen without the other.
Yes, well,
So find a remedy to this.
look, I don't know where the ring is. I don't know who took it.
I'd like to cast Zone of Truth.
Okay, let's since you're casting a spell and it has components to it, let's roll initiative, just so we know the order of operations for everyone.
How big is that zone of truth and how close is DX to Paultin?
So I'll double check the zone of truth area
Why?
effect.
Dieth is pretty squirrely about that zone of truth.
60 feet.
Okay, yeah, so it's 60 feet out, but it's a 15-foot radius sphere. So if it's basically centered on Paultin, it'll get all of you except Evelyn.
Okay.
So Holly, what was your roll?
That is 19.
Okay. Diath?
19.
Evelyn? Evelyn?
18.
Thank you. Paultin?
20.
Look at all these great rolls. Alisanda?
Never happens.
15.
All right, and I'll roll for a few other folks here. The two pterodactyl riders are sort of circling over your neighborhood, observing what's happening, but they don't land. Alisanda casts Zone of Truth. Is anybody trying to counterspell or do anything?
Nah, I only counterspell when it hurts.
Okay.
This
So
only hurts people.
a Zone of
mentally.
Truth effect, ground zero on Paultin goes off. Alisanda, do you want to do anything outside of your attack action? You're just going to wait at this point?
I'm just going to wait it out.
Okay. Then that goes off in kind of the surprise round. So now at the top of the initiative order, it is Paultin's turn.
So I recognize Zone of Truth from it being cast on me a couple times, right?
Yeah, this has got a slightly different flavor because it was sort of learned in a different way in a different place. But yeah, you recognize it.
Okay. I tell her, you can think I'm lying, but I don't know where it is. Paultin goes, wait, right, Chris? I didn't relearn where it is.
True. Yes, you did not. You did not learn where it is. It was taken off you while you were basically in suspended time animation, so you could not even perceive who took it.
So he says to her, he goes, I'm a lot like you.
Doubtful.
All this justice and this vengeance. It's fun. I've lost a lot of people I've loved. And like you, I did everything I could to go after them, make sure they were held responsible. One of them I didn't get to actually see fall. Two of them got away. But the rest, I damn sure took action like you did to make sure that they suffered and they were held accountable. And you want to know what I can tell you from that?
You're going to tell me, obviously.
I am very perceptive. It doesn't do anything. The pain of the loss, the mourning, it doesn't go away. But what does grow stronger, it's that anger. It's all that fucking hatred. It just stays with you. Ma'am? He just puts this little book away. He's like, I have this thing. Just let me go through it.
Uh-huh.
He goes, people who killed my son, they're gone. Is Evelyn still in range at least?
Yeah.
Visible?
She's probably visible, yeah.
Points to her. The ones who've killed her over and over and over again, gone. And I let one get away. And you know what? I don't know if that was the right call, but yeah, I know. I have regret. And if I saw him, I'd put him out of his misery. Same with the ones who killed my wife. But I can tell you that this is the kind of path you want to go down. You're going to turn into something nasty, something heinous. And you'll get to a point where you look in the mirror and you're just like, I don't even know who the fuck that is. So, is that really the kind of person you are?
Do you think I amassed an army of over 5,000 to be stopped by a speech and some victim noises?
He goes, "All right."
Seriously.
Oh, damn.
He goes,
Okay.
"All right, fine. So be it." And he just kind of puts his head down. He goes, "Make it quick."
All right, it is now Diath's turn.
How's that zone of truth working for you, buddy?
Hate it. That's the truth. Oh man.
Yeah, this is no time to be indecisive.
After like Paultin basically like, puts his head down, Diath also kind of steps forward and just says, "Look, you clearly want the ring more than anything else. We're telling you, we don't know where it is. It was taken from us. That thing is evil. It ruins people. It almost ruined Paultin. It's what took the life of artists. We did everything we could to help, to get it out of here. And we're telling you, like, we don't know where it is. And killing Paultin will just make it that much harder for you to even find it. It's not even in this same plane of existence."
The shadow fell.
Thank you, Strix.
The robed woman on the Triceratops says, "That one's mine."
Oh, no.
For a hug?
Do you want to do anything else, Diath, on your turn?
I would say probably not. I don't want to make any kind of aggressive move here because this doesn't look like a battle we could win on account of their dinosaurs. So I guess it's just more. I guess it'll be like more ready in action. He'll like step in and defend should one of them attack first, but he's not going to go after anyone right now.
Okay. Strix.
I don't like that mean lady, but she's just gonna like look at Paultin and say, "Yes, oh woe is me if he shall perish." And then she just like goes like this.
Paul just kind of looks like, what is?
How tragic would it be? That someone might know such magic that they could never ever bring the dead back to life.
Paultin picks up on the sarcasm, just like, Jesus, I'm offering up my fucking life here. Have some respect, Strix.
Woe is me, do not kill my friend. But perhaps one of us should do the deed for you, and then you should leave as it happens.
No.
Very well.
Fair.
But just make it quick and not
Keep talking and I'll kill you all.
Why are you so mean?
Years of practice.
What made you mean? Why are you mean? Do you want a pie? Why don't you come in for a pie? You don't need to do this. I'm so tired. I'll just make you whatever pie you want.
Are you taking any?
You have cherry.
I might. You want me to go check? I'm serious. I just, you look like a canny blood. You've been all over the plains or something. Like, there's a bunch of elves. Like, why are we doing this? Like, we can get the ring back. We know who has it. It's these weird elves that still faces. And
What was that? I'm sorry. What was that?
Yeah, it was this girl, Miranda, in the Shadowfell with these weird elves that still faces. I don't know who they were.
So you just said you know who they were. You know who the people that took the ring is. He
don't know
said
that-
that
I
he
don't
did not
know.
know.
We're
I
not
would like.
friends.
Who the?
He probably doesn't even remember her name. Just give him a break. He drinks like all day.
Paul's just like, what the hell are you talking about?
See? He didn't even remember.
Remember
I'm serious.
what?
He's in the zone of truth. He can't lie. Just say it. So will I. Just don't attack us. We've had our house blown up 17 million times. I really just want you to go away. I'm trying to make a place where I make these pies and make everyone happy, and I feel like everyone hates me, and I'm having such a bad time, and I just want to have a nice time, and I know magic, and it doesn't even matter.
We certainly don't know where it is. We have an idea of who possibly could have it, but there's no real good way to get over there. And for the record, she makes an incredible pie.
Thank you. At least someone cares.
Are you gonna go make me a pie, or are you gonna stand here and keep saying things I don't care to hear?
I will make you a pie if you just say please, because it's rude to just ask for things.
Let's see. All right. Well, learn boundaries.
Just please.
At that point, I throw a javelin in her general direction.
Oh, come on! I
Just
I'm trying to hit her. I just want her to be quiet.
So a dagger sticks in between the cobblestones next to you.
Well, you know what? Now you're getting boysenberry, and then she runs inside.
Okay.
I love when
If I see one boysenberry, that's your neck.
Paul's like, we actually agree on something.
Boysenberry is just terrible. I'm sorry.
No, it's true. It's so overrated. I don't understand it.
I mean, of all berries, boysenberry is one of the weakest.
When I go in there,
Can you
I
have a
immediately
marionberry?
start looking for poison.
You
Just
don't.
talking about pies.
You probably don't just have any lying on the
I'm
shelf.
pretty sure I do because I took some from that mushroom place.
Well, then that you have.
Yep.
Okay. So you pull that off the shelf and unplug it, and yeah, that's good. Meanwhile, Nylendre on her Triceratops turns to you, Alisanda, and says, Aelrain is not going to be happy about this news about the ring.
I understand that we have an agreement, and I am going to uphold my end. But you know the reason I'm here. I would not have risked everything to come here.
I'm with you to the end.
And maybe sooner than we think.
I'm ready.
Okay.
It is your turn. Or sorry, no, Evelyn's turn. My mistake. Evelyn, you're on an 18. So
Evelyn had
Yeah.
fled.
Yeah, I believe that effect ends.
Yeah.
It's not
and
perpetual.
so you see her, like she went out to a distance, and you're like, moves back in, and she's just trying to grapple Alisanda and take her like here's Alisanda sitting on the T-Rex and just.
Since you pretty much used all your movement last round to get away, it'll take all your movement to get back. So yeah, you can attempt to grapple her if you want.
I just want to grapple her off the T-Rex.
Okay, Alisanda, you see her coming for you.
And not even specifically off the T-Rex. She just wants to.
Grapple her.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and now this is, since you're grappling rather than attacking, this is treated using the grappling rules, which for you, I believe, is going to be a strength check, Evelyn. Let me just make absolutely sure. Dun 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 dun. Grappling is easy. Okay, so you can grapple. So make a strength athletics check contested by Alisanda's strength athletics check. Or dexterity acrobatics check, but I think Alisanda's probably going to go on with strength.
I got 15.
15. Alisanda, what's your strength athletics check?
Let's see. This is 19. 32.
Okay, so you attempt to grapple her, and then you just sort of feel this supernatural thrust, and like a feather, you are just pushed away. Like you almost felt like you were grappling something impossibly strong.
There's like tears in her eyes, and she's like, I'm just so sorry that we killed him. We didn't mean to. We tried to stop the ring and we couldn't, and I'm sorry that your husband's dead.
Okay. What am I gonna do with your sorry?
I don't know nothing.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing.
Hopefully by this time she's noticed that this is the saddest group of adventurers she's ever met.
Yeah, despite my laughter, I'm sure Evelyn's tears are absolutely 100% sincere.
That's all. I don't have any action.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah. Now it is Alisanda and company. Alisanda, your retinue will only act after you do, so what would you like to do? Strix has gone back into their house to make some sort of pie. That could take an hour.
Maybe.
Tie them up.
All right. The Nylendre.
I command my.
Nylendre will snap her fingers, and immediately vines burst up between the cobblestones and try to wrap around Diath and Paultin.
Mm-hmm.
So I need dexterity saving throws from you two gentlemen.
Right after she says tie them up, he's just like, yeah, that was probably a better choice. Ooh. 18.
Very good.
19.
Okay, as these grasping vines try to entwine around the both of you, you both slip out of them. Dodge away, hop to the side, all that it takes. And different ones try to grab you from different directions and try to snag your arms, your legs, your feet, your ankles, your neck. But every one of those that tries to latch onto you, you finagle your way out of, and neither of you are enwrapped by it. The two on one of the ones on the back of the pterodactyl pulls out a whip and tries to flash it around Evelyn. So Evelyn, he's got to make a grapple with the whip. You can make your strength athletics check or dexterity acrobatics to avoid being grappled by it.
No. It's a nat one.
Oh no. Okay. So without even looking, this whip comes right around your neck and you're just hoisted backwards toward him. And then his buddy pulls out his whip and also, while you're held there, it sort of lashes it around your waist. So they're both holding you with their whips. And you're just in the air with these two whips coiled around you.
Stop!
They turn to you.
Everything hurts. What you feel right now is how everything inside me feels. With him gone. I loved him. I don't want all of this. Help me find the ring and I will let you live.
Do you want a hug?
You've got this thing around your neck, like really tight. So it's like, do you want a hug?
We're not there yet.
Understand.
Paulton's gonna turn to her, say, I get lost. I told you I get it. So, and then he kind of like goes blank for a minute, and then Strix is still in the kitchen, right?
Yes.
Okay, Strix, you hear Paultin, and he's just like, "Are you sure you know where the ring is?"
Oh.
You just hear him, you don't see him.
Oh, she's like, I mean, I remember who took it. You were there. You were.
I don't remember anything. That's why I said that. I wasn't lying.
Yes,
You know-
yes. I'm talking to myself, and the chickens are like, I'm like, yes. Should I poison the pie?
No, it's fine. They
Okay.
just so you're good.
She's like
And-
about to pour it. She's like, whoop.
Paultin back out there goes, "We'll do everything we can to find it, if that's what'll make it right. Also, sorry in advance." And then he just like disappears. And then he just kind of walks out the front door. He's like, "Just a safety precaution, but we'll still help find the ring."
So what the rest of you see is Paultin just sort of vanished, and then Paultin comes out of the house.
He
Like
was never gonna die to begin with. Oh my god. Evelyn's like visibly super relieved and like.
Evelyn,
she
you've
just-
seen the mislead spell be used before, but this is the first time that it's really sort of.
It's like she's watching Game of Thrones and there was just like a big reveal and she's like, oh my god.
Even Dieth is like super taken aback by this. It's like, wow. Dieth will still address Alisanda though, and says, "We agree with you that the ring should be found. It's not something that should just be let loose out there in the world or wherever. But if you don't mind me asking, what is it that you want it for? More than just a keepsake, I'm sure."
It's not exactly easy to gather 5,000 wild elves and an army. I've made a deal. And I've offered the ring to someone in return for helping me with my vengeance, which I'm sorry, you guys are just too pathetic to kill.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's fair.
It's sad because it's
The woman on the Triceratops says, "They are. They really, really are."
Well, at least glad you guys can at least understand that we're nothing.
I do. I really do.
Look, it was never our intent to lose the ring in the first place. We understand its power. We understand its corruption. And we want nothing more than that ring to be safely locked away or destroyed.
The ring is an elven artifact. They want it returned to
Right.
them. That's where it should be.
Right, we heard that.
It's already cost too much. How long is this pie going to take?
Well, if you want
You
it to be
can't
good.
rush a masterpiece. I'd say like 30 more minutes pass if you guys just standing there awkwardly.
When you're in there, so you all hear a door on the balcony. This would be the second floor front-facing balcony off of Waffle's den, basically, get thrown open. And Alisanda, you see this big hippo man
Oh, God.
with a keg over his head. And
No.
and he says, "Be gone! This is my house and I won't let you destroy it!"
Warrington, no!
And Bone's like, just full disclosure, he's borderline squatting. This is our house, not his.
I just make a single command of drop.
You don't want to drop
Okay. He drops the keg and it explodes
Of course it does.
right at his feet. You just see this huge blast consume the front of the house, and you don't know what happens to Warrington. He just sort of blasts backward in through the wreckage of the house. Shrapnel from the shattered balcony flies everywhere, and the facade of the house just comes tumbling down. I would like I would like Diath and Paultin to make dexterity saving throws as the front of the house falls down on top of you.
All right.
You know, in the grand scheme of things, destroying your house and all that you care about is almost as much fun as taking your lives.
I mean, we're more used to that. 21.
Yeah.
Close to that. 6.
Okay. Paultin, you are caught in the collapse and buried in rubble.
It's like coming down. He's looking at this building falling. I'm just like, yeah, it seems about right.
Evelyn is struggling against the whips, being like, no!
Right. Okay, so Paultin...
You can free her now.
Paultin is buried completely under the rubble and takes 47 points of damage. You guys, this cloud erupts. Sound of thunder, Strix, of the house falling down.
Oh, I know that sound.
You know
I'm now
that sound
accustomed
well.
to that sound. I'm
Yes.
just like,
Everything in the kitchen shakes and some stuff falls off the counters.
yeah, and like I feel like she looks at the pie and it's like done, as like roof bits are falling down.
Yeah.
Am I buried under like tons and
Yeah.
tons of rubble,
You
or
are,
is it
you
like
are buried under rubble. There is no sign of you underneath the wrecked facade of the house. And you can see into interior chambers, specifically you can see clearly into the tap room, into the common room, the hall, and part of Waffle's den is completely now open on one side. The turret, which was right adjacent to the balcony, also took the brunt of some punishment, and you just kind of hear it sort of crack, tip, and lean forward over the street.
all this stuff comes crashing down and the dust settles? And you just hear, cool.
Can I come out with the pie now?
Yes. When you come out, you see the front of the house is now lying down on the street in piles.
I'm just gonna walk up just like this with the pie and just like hold it up to Alessandra.
The dinosaur sniffs it, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Not yours, it's hers. It's not poisoned, I promise. I was gonna poison it, but then you didn't kill us. So, just zone of truth, just being honest.
Is it boysenberry?
No, it's cherry.
Thanks.
Life is hard for everyone and we're all struggling. Pies make everything better.
It does smell remarkably good.
Strix says that, and Paul's like, all struggling. Some of us more so than others.
Evelyn, the coils on the whips loosen so that you're no longer bound.
She rushes to the pile where she thinks Paultin might be and starts trying to. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a big pile.
I would say sorry about your house, but
It's okay.
It's fine. I'll let us to.
You seem really distraught. I mean, why don't you all come in and we can just have a nice chat? I mean, for what's left of the house, we have tables and we did. We can talk about how we'll get the ring back.
I'm all right.
Good
No one
Warrington.
old dude.
Oh.
I can't believe you're all right.
oh, great.
Who is Warrington? Ooh, man. We could tell you so many stories. Perhaps over a warm pie.
Cut to. Yeah. Everybody clustered in the kitchen since the tap room's been wrecked again.
I'm no longer buried, right?
Yeah, you get excised eventually by Evelyn and pulled. Once she finds some sign of you, like an arm, she just starts pulling you out with her phenomenal strength.
Cool. So, oh.
And you can
Is
see,
this lady like a power or something? Is she is she like a god? What's her deal?
are you asking, or are you just trying to
Yeah.
divine that by looking at her?
I'm kind of divining it by looking at her, but also talking out loud because I have no filter.
So she is an armored goddess on a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So you can see worked into the design of Alisanda's armor and the armor of her bodyguards on the pterodactyls are maze-like patterns and symbols that you've seen before, suggesting Ubtao.
All right. Ubtao. Ubtao. Do you worship Ubtao, Alisandra?
I do. It's Alisanda. Alisanda.
I am so sorry, Alisanda.
You can also
Please come
refer
in for more pie.
You may also refer to her as Lady Rayburton, says the woman on the Triceratops.
These are too many fancy titles. Welcome to the Chickenfoot Coven, aka the Waffle House, aka a pile of rubble.
Again, not sorry.
That like landed on Paultin again. He's just like, God damn it!
You don't unbury him again.
Yeah. Some papers sort of float down, and they're all like Dieth's papers. Just.
Oh, those were organized.
Strix will get about to making pies. Well, I'm sure Dieth informs her of and all the other murderers where the saw the Ring of Winter.
Alisanda, are you planning to stay on your quote-unquote high horse, your Tyrannosaurus Rex, or are you going to? What's your?
Oh no, I've decided to dismount and carry on to the home.
All right.
Still on the high horse though, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
All right.
Dieth will try to regale as much information as he can with everything that they've been through and everything that's around here, along with trying to discuss with Alisanda any possibilities or information they could exchange back and forth on how they could even attempt to begin to find the Ring of Winter, or where to start looking, or how to get there, because it's in a different plane of existence as far as we know. This is going to be a very collaborative effort if we want to make this happen.
Alisanda kneels and begins to pray, and she summons Ubtao.
All right. You have seen images of Ubtao represented in statues in Chult and whatnot.
Yeah. I met him, didn't I?
And you met him in a fashion, in a dream, what you think is a dream maybe, in a maze.
I did.
That individual steps before you out of nothing. Looks momentarily disoriented and kind of disapproving of the surroundings. But then you see a smile, a faint smile cross his face when he realizes he's in the company of an old friend. And
oh, that's a power!
Yes.
I met him in a dream where I was mazed. Do you remember those dreams? You guys never talked about those.
He looks at you, Alisanda, and says warmly, with an undercurrent of, you wouldn't say frustration, but maybe bad timing, that I was having such a good day.
Do you remember me, Ubtao?
And
It's not about you.
he'll take you up. He'll take you up by the hand, Alisanda, so that you're not kneeling, and he embraces you warmly. It's good to see you, friend.
It's been a very rough day, my lord.
I'm so sorry to hear that. Are you at peace?
No.
What can I do to help?
We seek the Ring of Winter that was formerly worn.
I see. Mortals and their playthings. It never ends.
Paultin's just kind of like, yeah.
And it's not a mean one like Asmodeus. That was really scary.
We're kind of having a moment. We don't need the running commentary.
I like that she's just saying this out loud.
You're so called out. Welcome to the Waffle Crew.
And he says, oh, is that cherry pie?
It's actually really good. Like, I don't like her, but her pie is delicious.
He sort of looks at you and, may I?
Help yourself.
He'll try a piece of the pie. He'll cut it with a knife. He'll plop it down on the plate. Some of it sort of lands on the floor, and then he just has this sort of awkward moment like, no, I'm not picking that up. And then he just sort of sweeps it with his sandaled foot underneath a table so that nobody steps on it. And then he'll put it down on the table, sit in the chair, and start eating it, and confirm that it is indeed a very good pie.
Strix is like, gets too close to him and it's just like, she's like really happy that he likes it.
And he'll put his hand on yours, Alisanda, and he says, I want nothing more than peace in your life. And if I can guide you in that direction through this crazy maze in which we all find ourselves, then I will.
Yes.
But you do realize you do have to deal with the matter outside of this city. There is a war being waged on these people now.
Yes.
He says, you know, Artis was very much like them. You remember, right? He was as much trouble as any adventurer I've ever met.
I don't know.
I warned you, adventurers.
I got it over my head. It's a lot. It hurts. I didn't know what to do. And now I've got an army and a dinosaur. I don't know how to stop it now.
Follow your heart and try to be kind. And things will work out. You know, in a way, Artis is still with us and will always be with you. And he would want to know that the ring is in safe hands. He was obsessed about that silly thing.
I think it forced him to be.
Yes, you're right.
I'm sorry I destroyed your house and attacked you.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you can summon powers. That's pretty, like, thank you for not killing us. That's really scary. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for eating my pie.
He has gestures to like the house like this. This is just stuff you can rebuild.
Paultin's gonna walk up to her, be like I said, we all suffer loss. We lose loved ones. Some of us don't summon armies and wage wars on cities and destroy things. Some of us just get real sad. But you know what? Everyone copes in their own way.
I cry every night.
She cries every night. So.
What about you, Paladin?
What about me?
I don't think I like your tone a lot.
Ari?
It's like, Eva, come on. God.
It's okay. And
She pretends she's happy when she's not.
yeah. I suppose I do.
Ubtao's like, relate.
Is that a command? Commands me to relate.
Grovel, flee, and relate.
I like relate as a command.
Yeah.
Let's commiserate on all of our misery.
I just, thought I really knew a lot about who I was, and I'm finding out that maybe I don't.
That's why I'm grateful for Ubtao. He shows me the way.
And every maze has dead ends. That's just life.
Strix like raises her hand. Ubtao, do you make the mazes in Sigil? Just a question.
Definitely the time to ask that.
I just need to know. I saw him in a dream that no one else has talked about. I'm just saying.
Definitely the time to talk about
He
this.
says, oh no, those have been around long before I came into existence.
Oh, all right. Well, I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't mazed, and I would like to hear about everyone else's dreams. I'm just saying. That's it. I mean, we're all sad. That's a fact.
I'm not sad. I'm totally fine.
Uh-huh. You're
See,
can
this is
we
what we're
zone
talking
of truth her again?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
Everyone deserves their secrets.
So, some more than others, I guess. Poignantly looks at DF.
He refuses to make eye contact.
Ubtao will stand up. He'll put the plate on the sink and the cutlery back in the sink. And then he'll turn to Alisanda and says, I'm sure I can be more of assistance to you. Is there anything I can do while I'm here?
Well,
Point us in the right direction.
Well, why don't you tell your elf friend, to hold off on burning the city to the ground until the ring can be properly located?
I forgot about the burning part.
Yeah, oops, all fire.
And it sounds like you have the workings of a plan to maybe track down the whereabouts of the ring before this is all over. So that's good. That's good. And in the meantime, I'll just clean up a little bit around here and be on my way. And I think that you all together, you can all be better people. Bye.
Yeah?
And then he disappears.
well, Alisanda, sounds like you need to deal with that. Look, if we happen to get a hold of this ring or find it, should we get a hold of you, or what was your friend's name, the elf? If we ever meet them, maybe we can let them know about the ring.
Elrain.
Elray?
Elrain.
Elren, got it. So if we happen to know anything or hear anything, we can let the right people know.
Diath and actually all of you can make an intelligence history check. It's a hard check, but there's an outside chance you may have heard of Aelrain before.
History?
Yeah, history.
More like crushed it. 11.
I got
Oh yeah,
14.
great.
I got an 8.
Okay.
Check it. 6.
Okay, yeah, you've never heard of that dude before.
Nope.
All right.
Okay, well, if we ever meet or see an Elwraith, especially
Elrain.
especially with anything that has to do with the Ring of Winter, we can let them know, or even better, we'll try to let you know. This is clearly a far more personal matter for you, and I understand that.
Indeed. I need to go and see about 5,000 elves about a burning city.
Right.
Please don't mention us. We've already done enough damage to the city.
I appreciate the pie.
Or just say that it was done by Acquisitions Incorporated.
As you leave, Alisanda's 2 bodyguards, the pterodactyl riders, they're still waiting outside, sort of guarding the outside of the house to make sure nobody intervenes. But the druid woman in the robe, Nylendre, she is with you, Alisanda. She seems a little unsatisfied with the outcome, but she's not going to do anything or say anything. You just read it in her eyes. Like, shit, man, we just came, 3,000 miles? But she turns to the rest of you and says, Lady Ray Burton is immortal. It would behoove you to remember that we're not going to let this slide.
Would some more pies make it better?
It would help to appeal to my better judgment.
Strix, make more pies. Just make as many pies. Do now.
And then Jill says, we'll be back.
Yeah, don't doubt that for a moment.
Seems to be a theme this season.
What?
And that's where we'll stop.
I
You didn't die!
Nailed it!
That's what you're saying that, and all of us were like, we didn't die.
Yeah.
Everybody lives! Take that, Perkins!
Wow. Wow. Okay.
You walked in here like, oh, I'm gonna die with like my 40 face everything.
I totally was going to Warrington Munt you all and just have him start a fight, but you took care of that pretty spectacularly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping you wanted him to stay inside and not bother.
No, this was good. We made friends. See?
Yeah. Yeah?
Not sure.
Acquaintance.
Friendance.
Friendance.
Friend is very loosely used.
Okay, now, so announcements. First, our guest. Thank you, Christina, for joining us. Thank you for playing Alisanda so beautifully, and hopefully we'll see her again. But do you have any announcements you'd like to share about stuff that you've got coming up that you want people to know about? Yeah, something maybe Star Trek related.
Oh, yes, I do. So I guess I can go in order of days of the week. You can find me on Mondays on facebook.com/nerdbotmedia, where I host Nerd Talk Live every week. Last night we had Beetle and Grimm and Matthew Lillard and Bill Rahor came out. It was really awesome. On Tuesdays at 2:00 Pacific Standard Time, you can find me on Encounter Roleplay. I play a vampire on Vampire the Masquerade Carnival of Blood, which is dope. And then also next week, Sirens of the Realms is back.
That's right.
So
yes. Woo.
You can find me there and all that fun stuff. And I'll also be popping up on the Dragon Quest Survivor's Guide later. So it's a good life. Yay. Oh, and Star Trek RPG, which starts next Sunday. This Sunday. It's exciting. Yay, all the stuff.
What do we know? What do we know about the Star Trek game, like about your character? Is that all secret or?
Yes.
Okay.
But Tanya DePass is our game master. It's going to be super exciting. Yeah, I love Star Trek. If you can not see behind me from the Star Trek Mr. Potato Head.
Nice.
Living the dream. Thanks for having me. You guys are awesome. I'm really excited about those.
Cool. Yeah, I look forward to seeing where it goes. And any other announcements before we have the Chicken Foot Coven announcement?
Yes. Excuse me. If you like Magic the Gathering at all, I know I do. I'll be doing a special Magic the Gathering stream tomorrow on Wednesday, doing Magic the Gathering Arena all day, as I'll be streaming a early access to the Guilds of Ravnica. So if you want to see what those cards are going to be like, both in Standard and in Draft, come on by to my stream, twitch.tv/ProJared, all day on Wednesday for some early access Guilds of Ravnica.
I've got my normal thing. Next month, go back out on my headlining tour with my buddies in Stages and Stereos. We're hitting the East Coast. We're playing Jersey, Boston. Philly is sold out, so if you didn't get tickets, should have gone faster. DC, Atlanta, and Orlando, come hang out. It's going to be fun. Yeet me up inside.
I was on the Magic Hour with Penny Arcade. You can go to youtube.com/PennyArcadeTV and you can watch the first episode I was in where we played Magic and I lost, but it was still fun. And spoiler, sorry. And they just released, if I'm not mistaken, I haven't seen it today. I've been really busy, but I think they just released a mini episode with me in it as well. And they're coming out every Thursday. So if you like Magic the Gathering and sitting around chatting with funny people, hopefully you'll like the show.
Holly.
Yes, welcome. We're announcing the names, right?
Yes. So for those who don't know, we had this contest with D&D Beyond where people submitted their characters, people applying to be new members of the Chickenfoot Coven, which is Strix's new coven that's starting up. And the three winners will be welcome to join us as guest stars on the October 9th episode of Dice Camera Action.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Get ready.
And just before you announce the names,
Yes.
In that special episode, in the course of the episode, in order to prove that truly, truly you belong in the Chickenfoot Coven, you're going to have to pass Strix's test, which is her final test, which is you have to gain the friendship of or respect of one of her friends. So Diath and Paultin and Evelyn will each get a potential coven member to test.
It's like when you start a video game and the options are like easy, medium, hard.
So this is what you've gotten into. This is what you've gotten into, our three winners, who are Holly. Please take it
All
away.
right. Our first winner is at Broben Chain, BROBENCHAINE. And their character, I'm going to read their character because I want to tell you who their character is Critter the Cook, is a kobold who lives in the sewers of Waterdeep. He makes kebabs out of rats and pigeons, and he's a professional put pocket. He secretly puts random items in people's pockets so they have a treat for later. It's usually something gross.
I don't know why we picked that one.
Yes, the put pocket was really the seller.
Nice, yes.
Next up is at Kika VO, and their character is, I'm going down, Dierne Hall, a trans woman Shatterkai who discovered a secret so precious and wonderful she refuses to give it up to the Raven Queen. She's now in Waterdeep trying to figure out how to live out of the Shadowfell and how to experience joy again.
Oof.
And
finally,
the next up is at Cameron R. Powell. Perlock heals people through the power of food. A cleric of the forge, his ability to hone a blade and heat metal comes in handy. With trunk, hands, and spiritual weapon, he multitasks while making his inheritance, a family recipe for bread pudding. And he's a Loxodon cleric, so he's an elephant person.
My God.
There you go. You have a kobold, a Shatterkai elf, and an elephant person.
Great.
All right, Ravnica Forgotten Realms crossover. Here we come.
Yeah, I was going to say Loxodon is a creature type from Magic the Gathering with the, with the Ravnica campaign setting coming out for D&D.
Why not?
There we go.
Why not? We'll figure it out.
Sigil is the city of doors. You can get there from anywhere.
Let him and Warrington hang out. I'm sure that'll be great.
Yep. All right.
Congratulations, y'all.
Yes, congratulations.
Yay.
Congrats for joining the Chickenfoot Coven. I did not know that you had to prove yourselves to my friends, but good luck.
The one final test. It's a toughie. Okay. So we're out of time. So thank you again, Christina, for joining us. Wonderful, wonderful to have you on board, and hopefully we'll get you on the show again. And
This was super fun.
yeah, it totally was. And until we return next week for an all-new episode of Dice Camera Action, let me just say take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.